Bill and Hillary Clinton are under scrutiny from Congress. They have barely avoided a contempt of Congress vote after agreeing to testify in the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. The former president and former Secretary of State were once a political power couple that dominated the Democratic Party with influence. However, in this new era of politics, the pair seems to have lost some of their relevance. Last week, these 9 Democrats you see on the screen now on the House Oversight Committee voted in favor of holding Bill Clinton in contempt for avoiding testimony related to the Epstein files probe. And 3 of them broke ranks in a similar vote against Hillary Clinton. Let's discuss this with Patrick Maney now. He's a former professor of history at Boston College, now retired. He's also the author of Bill Clinton, New Gilded Age President. Patrick, good morning. Thanks for being with us. What do you make of the fact that some Democrats joined in this rebuke of the Clintons? What does that tell us about where their political brand, which dominated the landscape within the past few decades, where is it today?
Well, I think the Democrats are thinking that everybody should be held accountable and that it's going to be easier for them if they support the Clintons testifying. It's going to be easier, or at least harder, for Republicans not to put some prominent members of their own party on the stand. But I would say you have to realize that the Clintons were the dominant political force, the dominant political team from the 90s and the decades after. But most Americans were either not born or too young to remember the Clinton presidency. So they really have kind of faded from the scene. I mean, they still get high marks for management of the economy, but at the same time, the people who remember them will remember the scandals, particularly Monica Lewinsky scandal that marred the Clinton presidency and led to his impeachment.
Yeah, I got to say, you've just baffled me when you kind of give that reality check that most Americans may not remember the Clinton presidency of the 90s. But that's significant. You know, in the most recent decade, former President Clinton certainly has slipped back from the public view, a little less so for his wife, the former Secretary of State and Democratic nominee for president. They are skillful politicians, though. So will this testimony be a winning moment for Republicans, or could it, in fact, damage them?
Yeah, you know, Bill Clinton was the most talented politician of his generation. One pundit called him the natural after the lead character in that Bernard Malamud book on the natural, about the superior gifted baseball player, Roy Hobbs. But we haven't seen much of Clinton in recent years. So, you know, it's maybe his great political skills have atrophied. I'm not sure, though, if I were a Republican, I would want to take that chance. It could backfire. And plus, it's going to put all the more emphasis on this Epstein scandal than it would have otherwise.
I just want to play a quick clip, since you speak about Bill Clinton's ability to be a natural and to kind of be a charmer. Current President Trump is speaking about former President Clinton in his interview. Let's just play some of that.
It bothers me that somebody's going after Bill Clinton. See, I like Bill Clinton. I still like Bill Clinton.
What do you like about him?
I liked his behavior toward me. I thought he got me. He understood me. You know, he was the one that said very famously that you don't want to run against Trump.
In our last few seconds, what do you make of Trump's comments on former President Clinton?
Now, half a dozen times before Trump became president, he said that Clinton was a great president and one of his favorite of recent presidents. So that's no surprise. I also think that Trump sees something of himself in Clinton and thinks that Clinton was sort of unfairly branded during his impeachment. And there are some similarities. I mean, Clinton privately raged at his treatment by the press and said nobody had been treated as badly as he. The only difference is that Clinton raged in private while Trump rages in public.
All right, Patrick, really unique insight for us, joining us from New Orleans on this. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.